Yeah.
Oh, it's live. We're doing it. We're doing it, guys.
We're
Okay, so
live.
look, so check it out. We here in the studio, coming at you live. We got Michael Fielding, we got Jared Reyes. We about to talk some band shit. Hand it over to you,
We
Jared.
about to talk band shit.
Okay, so here's what's going on. I got my vehicle I bowed to the whims of the government. No, I got my vehicle inspected and I sent off for new registration today. I have to wait for that to come in the mail. And then once I get that, then I can sell my car and get a van. And I've been going back and forth between getting a cargo van, which is like a rape van, like the white vans that a lot of businesses use to
Yeah.
carry stuff.
No, you don't have to
And
tell me about rape vans.
okay,
They're high.
between getting a rape van and getting a minivan. The minivan mainly just has the pros of better gas mileage. Uh,
Yeah.
so that's the trade-off
I
that
don't. I
I'm
couldn't
trying to
find
figure out.
that. Sorry.
Also, how important do you think it is for us all to have a seat for this road trip?
I don't think that that's that important. I think that it would be more important for us to have comfortable dwelling space in the back,
Because
which was why initially I was sort of veering away from minivan, like it sounds like your initial thoughts were.
yeah, so okay, so I did the math on the gas. So from oh yeah, that's another thing, Tyler. If I bought the van and then I drive out to San Francisco, then you guys hop aboard and we go to Flagstaff, or I don't know, we end up doing whatever we want to do to get down to Acapulco. Where do you
Yeah.
want to end up? Because I probably wouldn't want to drive all the way back to San Francisco.
Yeah, like I would probably be okay with going back to Texas.
Okay, because I was going to go back to Austin was my initial, or Houston for you guys or whatever is kind of the initial thought, and
Yeah.
but I didn't want to drive all the way back out to California, so I didn't know if I would leave you stranded or not.
Yeah, no. I am definitely open to going to Texas. In fact, my plan originally was to go spend the month of February in Texas with my friend Josh, or with all my friends, but to go and I guess kind of maybe work on music stuff and do art projects and stuff like that. So.
Okay, and do you think okay, so you're okay with not having a seat so much potentially, or like one of us not having a chair at any given time?
I'm cool with that.
I
Yeah.
think it mattered. Is that put us at an easier excuse for us to get pulled over or anything, and then have to bribe all the policia in Mexico? Does that matter?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe we should look up what the laws are just to
I guarantee it's not gonna matter in Mexico, but maybe
yeah.
on the way there.
See,
That's
but it's strange because I've seen people in fact, I think 2 weekends ago, me and my friend walked to the beach and we saw these people that were in this huge bus called the Blue Heaven, and there were no seats. So I mean, if something like that can get around, then I don't know what the laws are on um, having seats in the back of vehicles over X amount of feet or something like that.
yeah.
So maybe there's some
I
sort of
feel
particular.
confident we can get away with it,
Yeah, I wasn't
especially.
that worried, but I just wanted to see if you guys cared because I didn't know if it put a bigger target on us or anything.
Right, yeah, and probably the biggest thing that we should look out for is when we're outside of the state of California, just probably not carrying any illegal substances on us, maybe smoke all our pot before we leave a safe state, something like that. Just because that's a pretty easy sacrifice to make if it's for the prudential reason of keeping a sort of a person with a gun happy when they happen to pull you over.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And
Um,
we'll find it along the way if we really want it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was kind of the main idea is so now I'm leaning towards a cargo van again. Okay, so here's the difference. So cargo vans, the ones I'm talking about, the type you see like Sears or whatever
Hmm.
pulls up in your driveway with,
Yeah.
uh, they get 15 to 19 miles per gallon, city to
Really?
highway.
Oh, that's not bad.
Whereas a minivan would get like 19 to 26.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm not as attracted to a minivan personally, but it would be the pro is it gets better gas mileage and it also since I do deliveries, but like for food, it would be easier for me to like do my normal driving in a minivan than a big van. So I'm kind of weighing. I keep going back and forth between those two things.
Yeah.
So
Um,
me and Tyler were talking about, I mean, so the thing to consider, I guess, would be comparing this plan where Jared, you end up with final ownership
mhm.
versus kind of our original plan where we just intend to resell it at the end. And um, if
If it's functioning, yeah.
depends which one, I guess, cost more and how much you really want to end up with the van at the end. Um,
Yeah.
is, you know, 'cause, okay, me and Tyler just mentioned maybe if it's, 2,000 between the three of us, and then maybe we can resell it for 1,000 to 1,500. We could all do this trip for 2 to 300 or so. I mean, for the vehicle, and then plus gas along the way. Um, and
Couple
yeah,
hesitancies with that plan would be a van that we could get for $2,000. I don't know if we'd want to take on a 7,000 mile road trip or whatever, because it's pretty
Yeah.
far actually. That would be potentially bad. But the other thing is just how long do we have to hold it to sell it at the end? Those are the two cautions. But I mean, I'm really open to either idea.
Yeah.
Um,
so I'll tell you all, like my timeline is basically from say January 25th slash, or actually I was thinking Tyler, it'd probably be easiest if we leave on like January 31st. If you're trying to sublease, it could start on the first. Makes more
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
And then I need to be in Acapulco by like February 18th, so that's 2.5 weeks. And then after that, it doesn't really matter to me.
So like it's just the 18th that you sort of really want to be in Acapulco?
Like the event starts on the 19th. I mean, I wouldn't mind even being there a few days earlier, but that's just kind of like the final last day.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Like and then the event is one day or it's a whole weekend or
it's the
what?
weekend. So it's February 19th through, which is a Friday, through the 21st, which is a Sunday.
Mhm.
um,
And I'm not sure where I'm going next. So I'm not sure if I'll fly out of there or come back to Texas with y'all. Because, I mean, yeah, this plan is new. So before well, I kind of want to leave my options just totally open and then see what happens at Acapulco and be able to make a decision there. So if we're doing this shared ownership thing, that's something for y'all to consider because I might not be tagging along for gas help or whatever after that. But maybe I will. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
because it's about 1,800 miles from Acapulco back to Austin, or basically, subtract 200 miles from that to Houston. So it's 16 to 1,800 miles to get back. So I guess if Michael wasn't on the trip for that part, then that would be what we're splitting.
Damn, dude, how how would we go? We would go across Mexico like this?
So it's weird from Flagstaff, Arizona to Acapulco, and then from Acapulco back to Austin. They're the same distance, although it looks on a map like Flagstaff would be much further.
Huh.
Uh, but they're almost equidistant. They're both 1,800 and something miles. Um, and it appears both of them, neither of the roads on either one of those, to and from, the roads don't seem to go way out of the way for any, geographic reason. They look pretty, point A to point B. It's just a really long trip.
Yeah.
Um, so,
Cool. So what
um,
are you looking towards now, Jared? You still thinking you want to do this car switch and
well, I guess
take it?
I don't think I have the money to put in because the reason why this made sense to me was I have a car payment anyway, and I'd be getting a car with basically the same amount left owed on it. So it really wouldn't change my monthly expenses to have a different vehicle, and I could just get a vehicle that's more functional for me. But I don't know if I actually have the money to put in and help you guys buy a van because I still would have my car payment regardless. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense
Yeah.
to me.
So
Like, you know what my roommate just suggested to me? He said that apparently some people rent out their RVs for the price that it would cost you to pay for a room for a month, right? Which is to say, so like they like rent out their RVs like you would rent out a room. So I mean, that's something else that we could look into also. See if there's any RVs. Like if like we could rent an RV out for $800, split between the three of us, for like a month. But then I guess I don't know.
Gas
But
is
then
gonna be way
I
more
suppose we're in
now.
the same situation that you were just saying that you're not in a situation to manage, Jared.
yeah, and also gas for the RV would probably be higher, much higher than what we've paid for the van for either one of the vans that we're talking about.
Yeah.
But I mean, I mean, obviously, don't let that. If you guys still want to, like, would rather do the ownership thing, um, obviously don't let me hold you back or think that you're tied to me being able to go. That's not a big deal if I can't go. But I don't think I could afford to put in for a van. And then I don't know if I trust. It just seems it's a really long road trip for the type of like looking at the price of vans.
Yeah.
It's a lot of miles to put on the price range you guys are talking about. I think because I was trying to find a much cheaper van than what looking at now, and most of them had lots of miles or like their transmissions went out and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could
So
find them. I'm not saying it's impossible, but even if we went that route, I don't know that I could put in 700 bucks or whatever a third of the cost would be and pay for gas and get into the conference and pay my car payment.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah. Um,
something for you, Tyler. Were you gonna try to pay to get into the conference, or you could contact Jeff and ask? So it's $200, but because I'm speaking, I get to go for free. But you could always just hang out around Acapulco,
Yeah,
or like try to sneak in,
I might just
or
chill on the beach and wait for the conference to end, and then I can talk to anarchists on my own time.
yeah.
I
And I
see.
mean,
It's
we
a
could
fucking
invite him back
conference.
to our after party.
Yeah, that with our dope ass free academy
Our
van.
rape van.
Our dope ass free academy
Yeah.
rate.
So look. So maybe maybe I'm growing more fond of the idea that you originally had, Jared, of you just getting your own van. Maybe that's probably the better option. Um, so that, and then, like, I definitely think that a cargo van, for the sake of our trip, would be much better. But again, since you're ultimately going to be the one who ends up with this thing, I don't know. I feel like I'm probably okay with letting you have the last say on that. Um,
And I'm cool with camping along the way too.
Yeah, I was gonna bring see if I can get a hold of a tent too, just in case. But yeah, um, the cool thing about the cargo van is the front seats look pretty comfortable. They don't lean back though, because in the cargo van, a lot of them have like, it's like walled off between the rear part. They have like a window. We could talk and everything, but it's not your seat doesn't go back. Uh,
yeah,
so there's two seats, and then the back has lots of space to have some sleeping bags and whatnot in, and definitely a lot of storage. But I figured if the weather's nice, camping almost every time will probably be more like setting up a tent on the side of the road will probably be more comfortable a lot of the time than.
And another idea is if there's three of us, we can drive in shifts, and then if there's a bed back there for one or two people, while the other one or two drive, and then we just rotate, and maybe not everybody has to sleep at the same time.
yeah. Like
That's a good.
especially if we're just doing that from our points to and from, maybe that would be.
And then
Yeah.
once you get to a place, you could build a decent campsite and maybe stay a few days here or there. Like once we're in Acapulco, I'm sure we could, set up a tent and little place to hang out, get some chairs and a fire pit.
Yeah.
Um. So let me think.
Dude, what I want to know, what's up with Mexico?
What about it? They speak Spanish. They have a relatively low GDP compared to the United States. Um, Apparently, there's some drug cartels, government corruption. Nothing too dissimilar from this place, though.
All right. Yo, man, hang on. Like, I'm about to make some coffee.
Yeah, hold on. I actually just made some coffee and it's ready. I just gotta pour it into a cup.
Oh boy.
Um, but hey, you know what? I'll be generous. Unlike Tyler, I'll take you with me on this little adventure.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck.
thanks.
Well, shit. I mean, well, come on, player.
He's all leaving him hanging over there all by himself, doesn't he?
No, dude, I could still see him.
No, like he couldn't see you, and that's rude.
Dude, it's been
Your mama, you know, manners.
it's been raining, man.
Well, come on, player.
I'm gonna walk around too.
You're just doing it because you feel left out.
I know, I did. I'm gonna get wine though.
Oh, well, that's silly.
What, dude? Like, I've had a cold for the last couple days, and I finally took like a little bit of some cold medicine, you know, like acetaminophen and whatever else they got it. And dude, it's crazy how the sore throat goes away, the body aches go away.
Oh man, no, same thing with me. I've had a sore throat and yeah, a little sore body and stuff, like a little flu-like, but it wasn't that bad. But it was uncomfortable. Um, yeah, and I don't like taking like even Tylenol really, and I resisted as much as possible, but I gave in and it's magical. It's way better. I don't know.
Placebo effect.
Maybe. Yeah, well, yeah, I'll give
You
30.
do a controlled study.
I did.
Yeah, maybe it is, but I don't really care.
Yeah, I could give a shit.
Next time, take a sugar pill.
The placebo effect doesn't mean that the thing that you're taking isn't sort of making you feel better.
Well, yeah, I mean, I need to, but if I know it's a sugar pill, I feel like the placebo effect won't be as strong.
Okay, it won't be as strong, but it does still work. That's the crazy thing. You can pack your own sugar pills and take them, and they'll make you feel better still. Even though
Well,
you were
your
the one who
body's
put the
like,
sugar
oh.
in it.
Your body's probably like, oh, you put a pill in me, so.
That's exactly what it's like.
Yeah, but how long would it take for you to get completely immune to that? Because your sort of psychological, I guess, trickery.
Building up psychological resistance.
Yeah.
Okay. How do I share my screen? Let's see. There it is. Desktop. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
So this is the van I was looking at. I like it because it's a Sears van. They owned it before.
Hell yeah.
So they put in these really nice shelves in the back that are built in, that are nicer than what I would probably put in on my own. And I can,
Yeah.
but also because it's Sears, I just trust, maybe naively, that a big company takes slightly better care of their vehicles than a small company would.
Sure.
So I'm hoping
sense.
it's better serviced, but it's got 128,000 miles on it, so pretty low. And most of what I saw online says that like these vans, like a lot of companies, like there's a lot of people that talked about them that had like over 300,000 miles on them, and apparently they're pretty hardy. But I don't know.
Do it.
But what do you think, Tyler? Did you see it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, dude. I would go for it.
Also, the
Oh wait, what's up with that fucking window thing?
window thing. Oh yeah, see, that's that's the thing I told you about. You can talk through it. There's like you can tell right in this picture that it's not closed off, but there's not free passage between the front of the cabin and the back of the cabin, I think.
I see. Like, have you looked at stuff like those Ford Econolines or like things in that family of van, like a sort of like a camper van, I guess you would call it?
No, I looked. I really wanted a Westfalia van. Are you familiar with those?
Uh-uh.
They're so cool, but they're everyone wants one, and they don't make them anymore, so they're just expensive and hard to find. Um, Let me see. Wait, that's
Yeah, look up like Econoline, not to specifically look at those Fords, but just to see the Econoline, to see the kind.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty similar looking, I think.
Wait, is that?
I think they're like the thing is with these Econolines. I think they're basically the same model. I think they just have they have seats all throughout them. I think.
Seats are easy to take out though. Plus you could sell them and
Yeah,
Wait,
it's more the windows though. They put a lot of windows in Econolines, and
yeah. Look at that one on the far right. Hang on.
hold on, let me go back. Like this.
well, the other thing, Tyler,
Down.
is he only has a few options because he's trying to do a trade-in,
Oh
so it
yeah,
can't be
okay.
from owner. It has to be by a dealer.
Yeah, this would be pretty cool, but yeah, I'm kind of limited. That's part of the problem.
What do you think
Um,
about painting the Free Academy logo on the side?
I'm open to it, because that would be kind of cool.
I'm
Uh,
open to it too.
open to my van having the free academy on there. But we're anyway.
What's the
Yeah,
next step though, Jared?
Here,
Your
look. We'll
current
look at
car
these
registered?
Craigslist, dude, because like I might just surprise you. I might just have a van bought by the end of the week and no sweat.
well,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna fight you.
Let's have a van caravan.
Huh?
A
Well,
van caravan.
no, let's not do that unless we can fill it with people, because that's a lot of gas money for no reason.
Not for this trip necessarily, but for the Free Academy traveling campus this summer.
Ah. Um. Okay, let's see. So okay, well, we'll see if Tyler ends up buying a van, then ain't no thing. Next step for me, for this van thing is I gotta wait for this registration sticker to come in before I can take it in and get it appraised. Um, so I sent off for that today. So I don't know how long it takes the government to mail something. I'm sure way longer than it should. Um,
And they own the mail department.
So I was talking to my mom. It's crazy, and I found this out from other people. Unemployment, it's funny, they give it to you, but it's not taxed. You got to pay taxes on your unemployment, which is from the government to begin with.
That's what I never understood.
Give them
Why
less.
government employees pay taxes? Why not just pay them that much less?
Yeah,
But
it's like, but it's of course it's like, why would
not
you do
supposed to make sense.
that? Anyway, yeah, I didn't think about that, but yeah, it's the same thing. It's the government's money that they're giving my mom, and then they're like, but you owe us some of that back. Just don't give her. They want you to get caught in this trap, probably, where then you owe
Well, the
interest.
mindset, yeah. They don't want anyone saying they're not paying taxes, so
Mm.
'cause then the meme gets out. You don't have to pay taxes.
Well, just ask Wesley Snipes. That didn't go that well for him.
Well, you got to keep your head low.
Yeah, he was making way too much money to think it was going to pan out. But he actually thought constitutionally that he didn't have to. He thought he could fight it in court, and I guess it didn't go well.
Oh, have you heard of Peter Schiff's dad? You know who Peter
Uh,
Schiff is?
I know who Peter Schiff is. Yeah, I actually posted something on FreeAcad by him a couple days ago. But yeah, I'm
Oh,
familiar
yeah.
with.
Haven't watched it yet. His dad
It's okay.
recently
No.
in prison at age 88
You
because
fucking.
he was putting on this workshop telling people how you don't legally have to pay income tax, and he was promoting the idea everywhere and also not paying income tax himself. So they kidnapped him and put him in a cage and made him spend his last 12 years pooping in a just toilet without a seat.
That was Peter Schiff's dad?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, I posted a video of him on Free Academy. Don't watch it. It's okay. It's not great.
Dude, here's a van
Research
that has a
Leadership's
fucking
dad,
dance
though.
floor
He's
built
interesting.
on top of it.
Wait, what?
Sorry to interrupt. I said that there's a van that some like Burning Man people made that has a dance floor built built on top of the van.
No, but for real, well, maybe not for this trip, but eventually, Jared, you should throw a solar panel on there, and then you can sit parked with your fan going, or never have to worry about getting a jump or anything like that.
Oh no, definitely want to do that stuff. I mean, I kind of the thought was this trip thing kind of came up second. I was first thinking about just doing it because if I'm going to pay a car payment anyway, why not? Why shouldn't it also have the option
Be
of being
rich.
a comfortable house? Yeah,
Yeah.
and my car is just way too small for. I can't sleep in it comfortably at all. So I was like, why am I doing this? And it was yeah, it's easy for me to justify a car payment when it's car payment plus rent. Um,
Definitely.
But then once I thought of the idea, then I was like, oh shit, maybe I could get it and use it on this. We could all go on this trip in it.
Cool.
Um, so the next step, anyway, to get to it, the next step for me is wait for the sticker to come in, and then I can take my car into. I was thinking CarMax first, but I mean I can take it to a bunch of places and get it appraised, and then my goal with the van would be I want to get a van where I don't want to I don't want to increase how much I owe on my car note. So I'm really trying to find a van that's worth equal to or less than what I still owe on my current car. Um,
Yeah.
because I'm really just trying to swap a situation I don't like for another situation I don't like that's slightly more functional, basically. I don't want to
Definitely.
increase it. So um, that's the next step for me. So I'm just waiting on a sticker, and once I get that, I can start heading to dealerships, and then all this becomes a lot more real.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go, boys.
Well, I mean, are you gonna? Okay, so remember, we're talking like 3 weeks from now,
Yep.
basically. Um, so hopefully that all happens, and then like you think if say it came through on, say you got the sticker on January 20th, you go to some dealerships the 21st, 22nd, would you be ready to switch and like drive to San Francisco on like the 25th potentially?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the sticker takes that long to come in the mail, actually. That's the good news. But let me see. Um, the only thing is that I don't want to rush the van purchase to where I end up like buying a piece of shit.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
that's the fear more more than anything else. So I just want the sticker to come in pretty quickly so I can make sure before we go on a 7,000 mile road trip, I don't buy a busted up van and we break down halfway through it.
Yeah, in the
definitely.
middle of fucking Mexico.
Yeah, that was the main thing I was thinking about. Because I started thinking about, well, maybe the cheap van and I could just go with you guys and I can do this later. But one, I still got to pay my car payment, like I said. But the other thing is, buying a cheap van may just end up being more expensive if if it doesn't go well.
For
But
sure. Because
I,
with that idea, like in the back of my mind, there was a 10 to 20% chance that we like leave it somewhere because it breaks down and we just start walking.
yeah, and
Oh,
that's the other thing. The bigger risk for me is like, okay, it'll probably make it, but then how long are we gonna have to sit on it before we can sell it, or if Tyler, who knows if after the road trip Tyler still wants to keep it, depending on what happens to it, and even if
hmm
I get the money together to put in a third for the van, I don't know if I could afford to not get that third back pretty soon.
Definitely. Well, cool. I mean, sounds like we have a general direction that we all kind of agree on. Tyler might pull a card out of a up his sleeve and buy a van in the next week,
Yeah,
possibly.
I mean, like, I got about, I don't know, three or so $1,000 kind of stashed away. Um,
Rich. Hey,
yeah,
buy
well,
yourself an ounce of
that's
gold.
not to say I have like $4,000 credit card balance, so it would just be the inevitable putting off of my credit card balance.
Sure. Well, hey, that's down from the last time you told me, so good job.
Yeah, man, it fluctuates between like yeah, a lot and then less than a lot.
Cool.
Yeah.
And sounds like we're all pretty much on board with Jared's plan, if as long as it can all work out in time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So maybe we should reconvene in like a week or so and see where everything's at.
Well, hold on. And one last thing I want to mention before we get too head over heels with the plan is if I did that in compensation for like all the miles and everything, what's a fair price for you guys to, I guess, contribute? I mean, I figured obviously we'd split gas, but um, just for all the miles and the maintenance and all that crap, I was thinking $300 or $400 each, but you guys tell me what you think is if that's reasonable. Does that seem too high? I don't know.
Dude, that seems totally reasonable to me. I'd be happy to pitch in 400 for the trip.
Yeah, it seems hyper reasonable for me.
Okay.
And depending on where we end up, like sort of like I would be willing to consider throwing you more after that, but for a bare minimum, that would be
Yeah.
yeah, that would not be too bad.
Cool. Well, yeah. Let me. My plan is to wait on this sticker. I'm gonna keep looking at vans. I found a couple that I'm really interested in, and um, really, it all just once I get that sticker, I'll get my car appraised, and everything becomes more clear from there. Because as long as the car's worth what I think it is, then I don't really see a hiccup. But if I'm get surprised and my car's worth a lot less than what I found online, then
Yeah.
or
Like
not, but in that short notice, if I can't get anywhere near what I thought I could, then maybe this falls through.
yeah. And and it wouldn't be the worst thing. Let's say I just went ahead and bought one of these vans that I found on Craigslist. That wouldn't put a wrench in your plan to buy a van, right? You sort of because you were saying so
No.
it's not, so like the trip isn't the only thing prompting you to buy a van, right?
No, that was giving me the urgency, but the van idea was something I came up with on my own. And then I was like, oh, well, that's kind of, well, I think maybe you guys bringing up the van made me think of it, and then I wanted it for myself, and then I was like, well, if I do this quickly, then we could just use my van for the trip. But it wasn't, yeah, there
Three
weren't.
amigos,
What's that?
Musketeers.
Yeah. So no, if you end up buying a van, it doesn't mean uh, it doesn't isn't a no go for the trip for me either. I would just have to really think about it a bit more and look at my money more closely before I could for sure go. But
Yeah, for sure. I see.
yeah, yeah. But no, if you want to get a van, dude, get a van.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no shit. Okay.
And
Cool.
if you get a van
Well,
and then don't want to put all those miles on your van, then maybe both of us end up with a van.
And then nobody goes to Mexico except Mike.
I'm going to Mexico with or without you guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so here's another thing. Um, I was thinking, screw Flagstaff. I don't think Adam's gonna. There's no way they're doing anything with Earthship yet. Um, but I don't know if you guys have seen it. I've seen these amazing photos. It's called like Hascavanti Falls or something in Arizona. And it's actually near Flagstaff for the record. But hold on, I'll show you on my phone real quick. I've been wanting to go there. I think it's near the Grand Canyon. Oh, Havasupai Falls. Hold on. Anyway, it's this crazy blue water.
Oh
It's,
fuck
Damn.
yeah.
I want to go.
Yeah, fuck Flagstaff. Just
I was
go there.
like, hey, fuck his little homestead, which I do want to go to it, but I just don't think he's going to be ready. If he's going to Acapulco too, how much is he really going to get done between the end of January and when he has to leave for Mexico?
Yeah. So I'm totally on board with skipping that, or just we can Google and see what other kind of there's probably organic farms and other home earthships. Like we could pitch in and help. We could go check them out. We could just check out the scenery.
Ooh,
We
well,
could do
yeah,
our own camping thing.
I think a lot of the
Uh,
Earthships, like their headquarters or whatever, where they teach people, is in New Mexico. Maybe we could swing by there and see the actual ones I've seen in all these videos.
and my friend Julian, who lives here at the Jenner, has family down in Monterey, and they were talking about maybe trying to meet us on like Valentine's weekend, so February 14th, right before Anarchapulco, try to meet in Monterey, and he has family with land that we could camp on, and there's mountains and all kinds of cool stuff. So yeah, the Earthship thing is more like a placeholder in my
Yeah.
mind than actually something that's super important.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't care either way. I didn't even know what the fuck was going on over there in Flagstaff, so.
uh,
Cool. Well, let's go see that waterfall.
yeah, dude, that place looks it's really it's actually I guess world renowned. I don't know people well I don't know I hate using that phrase, but people travel to the U.S. in large part, or like that being a big part of their trip is to go see this thing. And I think it's right by the Grand Canyon, so I think I was right by it and had no idea it was there. I
Oh,
went an hour,
fuck, dude.
didn't go to it.
Yeah, dude, we gotta do it.
It looked badass. Yeah, you can't see the photo, but you can if you Google it, man. It's a really high one too, and the watercolor is just insane. That's what I think draws more people to it. Is it's like aquamarine colored.
Dude, I'm not gonna look any pictures up.
Yeah, just yeah.
Let it surprise you.
Yeah, I like that better actually. That's cool.
Virgin eyes, baby. It's like busting a nut for the first time. You just
Yeah.
drop,
Uh,
nothing comes out.
it's like it is a little bit sad that there's over time, what is it? Decreasing returns per
Oh,
Oh,
diminishing
net price,
returns.
dude. It's one of the saddest things in life, I'd say.
yeah.
Well, not if you keep doing new things all the time.
See, but then, like, at what point does doing new things become something old? Like, oh, let's go do another new thing.
I haven't got there yet.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe there's some sort of special, I don't know, principle that governs doing a new thing that sort of keeps it from getting old. I don't know.
So does that mean if like the mainstream will eventually like if something becomes so mainstream it will be potentially become like not mainstream, Like it's
Oh yeah,
stream
like
it's the mainstream's the old stream or something, like I don't know if it always works in this circle.
Well, if you think of that metaphor, of mainstream, like the middle of the stream is constantly moving. So yeah, obviously, what used to be the main part of the stream will eventually not be the main part of the stream.
Well, no, the mainstream is always the mainstream because it's this floating target, It's just what comprises it,
Well,
right?
I don't think a man can ever step in the same river twice, It's not the same river and it's not the same man.
Yeah, no, I know. I agree. I'm saying that the mainstream is like it's a floating. It's what's inside of it's always different, but it has somewhat of a set
Okay.
definition and
yeah,
go through it.
right. It's like like fucking like every child that has learned 2 + 2 equaling 4. Like, is that the same number 4, or is that a different number 4 every time they sort of see what 4 is? It seems like
That's a deep question.
Uh,
What? That
maintain.
depends on what the meaning of is. That's a Clinton quote, by the way.
really?
Yeah, when they asked him about if he had a sexual relationship with Monica Lewinsky, or like, oh, I can't remember exactly,
How
but
is he's involved?
that was his answer in the court case, was like, well, that depends on what the meaning of is.
What?
Bill Clinton?
Yeah, Google it.
I don't know. I don't know how someone gets impeached for a blowjob anyway. That doesn't make any sense. It's not
Well,
a.
he got impeached because he lied about it.
But
And it's
but
illegal to lie in a courthouse.
oh, okay. So all he had to do
I mean,
was
that's
go
the
up
law
there.
he broke.
So all he had to do was go up there and be like, "Yeah, she great
He sucks
blowjob."
my dick, right?
And he looks at the jury. He's like, "You know, you liked it. You know."
He's like, you want to get on some of this.
Oh boy. Um. Yeah. Well,
Power man.
Dude, let's close it out, man. If anybody ever watches this, it's way too long. So
Yeah,
let me at
for all
least
that
turn the
nonsense.
off-air button on.
Yeah.
See, I'm gonna hit the off-air button real quick. See ya.
Okay, see ya.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone who watched